I believe that you are powerful beyond your greatest imagination, that the force of your spirit and the magic of your beliefs will change the world. I believe that your story matters, that what you know, the way you think, who you are, and what you have made of your life can help someone. And it's my belief that if we know something that can help someone, it's our responsibility to share it. My story began as an infant born 2 months premature, weighing 3 pounds with a birth defect that prevented me from being able to eat. My parents were told to give up on me, that I probably wouldn't survive anyway. I had emergency surgeries, feeding tubes, and machines that kept me alive for the first year of my life, followed by 3 more major surgeries and 2 life-threatening infections, all by the age of 19 years old. Doctors said I would never survive, never be able to eat, never talk, never hear, never sing, never be able to play with friends as a child, and that I would never go to college. They said I would never contribute much, and that by the very small chance I did survive, they said I would depend on government disability programs, that I would live with debilitating, untreatable chronic pain, and that I would always be sick. They said that I would be numbed by antidepressants, but I would always be depressed, that I would live in the haze of pain pills, and that I would never amount to anything. I was told all of those things before I even turned 20 years old. The absurdity, the impossibility, and the total devastation of all of those things was my wake-up call. I took my blue Ford Ranger pickup truck out for a drive through the small Oregon town where I grew up one summer afternoon, and I wondered 3 things. And first I wondered, if this is it, now what? And then I wondered, why am I here? And third, how do I make it worth it? I had been through so much, I'd hurt so much, and I knew that I couldn't change what had happened, but I thought, maybe I could make it worth it. These 3 questions changed my entire life. I sat there in my truck and I really asked myself, if this is it, now what? If this is what I'm left with, then what will I choose to do with it all? What will I make of it? What are my options? And am I willing to let this be it? Am I willing to let others tell me how my life will unfold? No, I wasn't. I refused to live the life that others had said would be my fate. And in that moment of questioning, I realized that maybe I didn't have much, but I had hope. I had myself, and I had the tools to try to heal myself. So I found a way to make my life better than anyone ever thought possible for me. Of all the people, I thought, I could beat these odds too. And I did. And then I asked myself, why am I here? Why did I go through all of that? What for? What's my purpose? And what can I offer the world? How can I help people? What have I learned by giving life everything I had just to survive, that I could help others live happier, better, more fulfilling lives without all the struggle and the pain that I had gone through? What if I could gift that to them? I wanted to share my story and what I had learned about what matters most and what drives us, and how to get what we want, and how to discover your purpose, how to train your brain using positive psychology, and how to understand and have compassion with others and ourselves. I wanted to know that if I fast forwarded my life 20, 50, 60, 80 years from now, that I like what I remembered. Would I smile at what I saw? Would I want to know me? Would I be proud of me? I wanted to know that I spent it well and good, and that I shared my story, that I proved the strength of the human spirit. I would want to look back and know that I told stories of courage and bravery, and that I spent my days with incredible people. And when I'm gone many years from now, I wanted to know that people would remember me as a champion of life, as someone who never gave up, never gave in, always rose up and made something of herself. Someone who always reminded people what matters most, and someone who showed the world that against all odds, that there is always a way. The final question that I asked myself was, how do I make it worth it? All of it. I can't change anything that I went through, but I can choose what I do with it. So how do I make all the struggle, the pain for myself, for my family, my friends who love me so much, worth something? How can I give this all meaning instead of senseless pain? How do I make something of myself? How do I give something so great that what I went through is worth it? In that moment, I promised myself that I would always do what I love. Life's just too short not to. And that I would always contribute uniquely to the world. And that I would laugh and play and smile and love every single chance I got. that I would enjoy good health, simple moments, and that I would make this world and everyone I met better than I found them. That instead of feeling pain and heartache and disappointment when they think of me, of my childhood, of my medical story, that my family would look at me and say, look how far she's come. Look at what she created. She created that out of nothing. When all the world seemed to be against her, look at what she did. Look at how she truly believed in her life, in her power, and in her life's meaning. She had every reason to quit, every reason to believe what others thought her fate would be. Nobody would have blamed her for believing it too. But look at her now. Look at what she knows about the world. Look at how she lights the world up and helps others uncover, believe in, share their stories with the world too. Just look at her. It's no wonder she made it. To me, that's making it worth it. And these 3 questions changed my life, but my answers to them saved my life. I was gifted with a unique experience and a knowing about life and the strength of the human spirit and the power of thought and possibility in all things that I knew I had to share. There was no way that I could go back to my life before all of these surgeries. That life didn't exist for me anymore. I knew too much now. My life was forever changed every time I woke up from those surgeries, and each time I had to reinvent myself. I started by learning to control my mind. I used what I had learned from a Reiki master friend years before, using healing energy and the power of my mind. I studied it intently, and I believed with everything in me that I had work to do here. And in order for me to do that, in order to give fully and completely, I had to heal myself. Medical science could only take me so far, and now it was time for me to heal the rest. I practiced my healing regimen for hours a day. Within a matter of a few months, I healed my body from debilitating chronic pain. And a few months later, I moved 3 hours away, I re-enrolled in college, I studied communication, psychology, and conflict resolution. I learned new sports, I played basketball, I learned to wakeboard, and I volunteered at the hospital that saved my life. People said I should share my story and what I've learned, how I think, and what I know about life. They said I could really help people. They were so inspired. But to me, it was just survival. I learned all of that because I had to survive, and that's how I did it. They suggested that I write a book, or blog, or speak about it. Some said that I should coach people so they could heal and move past their own blocks too, and live a life of purpose and meaning and clarity and love. I had no idea how to do that, and how to share myself. I wondered who would want to listen, and how do people find me? So I dedicated myself to learning. I studied marketing, I attended events, I watched hundreds of hours of motivational speakers, and I began helping others find their voices and share their messages with the world. And then I got to work with one of the most successful and most influential personal development leaders in the world today. I learned everything I could from him, and I still learn from him to this day. I continued helping others believe in and share their own story with the world and get paid for it as a career through books and online programs and product launches. I got really good at it. I was their cheerleader and champion, and I made people a lot of money. The challenge is, it's hard to believe in your story. Once I started sharing my story with other people and helping others share their own stories in a bigger way, my entire life shifted. I began working with entrepreneurs on multiple New York Times best-selling book campaigns and multiple multi-million-dollar online program launches. I was hiring, training, and managing high-performing teams remotely. I was building and managing multi-million-dollar affiliate program launches and building entire customer support systems. I was developing company culture and client happiness in brands that desperately needed it. I was helping these people share their unique gifts and their stories with the world. I always imagined that this is what I would do with my life. I just didn't know how. Growing up, my parents and I listened to Tony Robbins, Wayne Dyer, Deepak Chopra, and Carolyn Myss on road trips. I wanted to do what they did to inspire the world. I always wanted to make others feel as good as I did after I listened to these thought leaders. They had helped me and my family and so many others through so much in our lives. I spent my days after school giving motivational talks to an audience of one. My dog, in my bedroom. I loved it. I loved what I thought of and shared, and I wanted to share more of it. I just had no idea how, but I always dreamed that I'd get to share my story and help others to share theirs, and make a living at it. And I made it my mission to figure out how. Nobody gave me permission. You just have to go out there and do it. Find what matters most to you and pour your blood, sweat, and tears all over that mission in life. I've made more now doing what I love than I ever did as a cog in a wheel of some corporation or by playing it small. My life has greater meaning, love, and happiness than ever. To me, that is making it worth it. I share my story with you not to make you feel sorry for me or to be boastful. I'm sharing my life and my story with you because I believe that if you know something that can help someone, it's your responsibility to share it. I'm here living my dreams, living without pain on most days, and helping the world because people were brave enough to share with me and help me along my journey. I believe the greatest thing that you can give the world is the gift of your story, of your learnings, of your passion, and of your perspective. If you need to know that there is a way, if you need to believe in something, anything, if you need to be reminded that you are meant to be here and that everything in your life has led you to this very place right here, right now, if you need to know that you are exactly where you're meant to be, then let this be it. Let this be your moment. Let this be your reminder. You are here. Do something remarkable with this life that you have. I was gifted with a second chance, a chance to make a difference, to own my life, all of it, even the parts that I didn't like or I didn't think were my fault. I got to choose what I would make of my experience in my life, and so do you. I realized that we don't have to come so close to death, pain, or depression to remember to live, to remember who we are, to think for ourselves, to challenge beliefs, to do what matters. I realized that we are our choices, not our circumstances. And I believe that when we take full ownership of our lives, the good, the bad, the everything in between, that is when we truly live. Because from that place of power and presence, that is when we get to do anything. That is when we become unstoppable. My job is to help you train your brain to work for you, to help you create new patterns and habits that work for you. Your life, every piece of it, is a stepping stone, not a roadblock. And you are exactly where you are meant to be, to get what you want, to be who you are, and to do more of what you love. Use your life, your experience to be happy, successful, productive, and to live the kind of life now that when you look back at your life when you're 70, 80, 90, 100 years old, you'll be proud of the stories you tell, about the person that you were, that you are, of the things you did, the places you traveled, and the legacy that you created. I believe in you. Your story, your life, your contribution will change this world.